Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys had a good weekend and that you're off to a solid start to this week. The market pretty much picked up where it left off last week. We saw more of the same. And we'll take a look at it here in a minute. But before I do, I wanted to share this thought with you. Talk to you a little bit about quality control. I know everybody's heard of this before, and it's a process by which we review the quality of all factors involved in a process. Could be manufacturing process, service process, whatever. But it's a key component of a well-run business. And we all know our trading is a business and we have to run it as such. So, but most people, when they think of quality control, they're thinking of a manufacturing business where a company has to inspect the products randomly to make sure that there are no flaws showing up, that everything is still tight and meets their standards. But control processes can be used in all types of business, whether they're product based or service based. So by now, I know all of you guys are starting to connect the dots between quality control and our trading. Now, our trading is a business, again, and it's got to be managed as one. It's unique in that we have a service component, which is the selection of stocks and the actual execution of trades. That's the service part of it. The product part of it is the actual results of our trading. Because everything that we're doing is to produce a result, and that's our product. So a quality control program helps to ensure that we're delivering a consistent product. It helps businesses in delivering a consistent product or service or both. And that's what we're seeking. We're seeking consistency every day. Consistency in the services that we perform and consistency in our products. So as we develop a quality control process, it allows our business or our trading to seemingly operate without a whole lot of constant input. And it makes it easier for us to expand and grow our trade. So, and if you think about it, we already have that process in place, or we should, and that's our reflection process. But there's a lot of people who don't believe in that process and they don't really understand how it helps them. To them, it just takes too much time. But our reflection process is actually a quality control process, because what we need to control the quality of is going to be our stock selection and our scanning. All right, so if we didn't control the quality of that, we can have a watch list full of garbage every day if we didn't set parameters for that. In our scanning and how we select stocks. If we don't control the quality of our execution, we'll be trading all over the place. Getting in at the wrong time, exiting at the wrong time, not taking trades, it'll be a mess. And we want to control the results of our trade. So by controlling the stock selection and scanning and the execution, if we focus on the quality of those, the results of our trading is going to be better. It's going to get better. And so how do we develop this process? First you want to set your standards. That's our stock selection, our scanning. Like my scanner, every morning, my main scanner is looking for stocks that have gapped up or down $1. It's looking for stocks that have volume, that have ATR that's got enough room to move, that has it's in a certain float range. So my scanner is giving me all of this. So I'm focusing on the quality of the stocks that I'm trading. or that I'm putting on my watch list, and that they have to meet certain criteria. The catalyst, and that's how this process allowed me to determine which catalysts work the best with my strategies and which ones don't, which ones I stay away from, which ones I do trade. It helped me to determine which industry or which sector I'm not going to trade because it doesn't work well with my strategy. So it helped me develop a process so that I could eliminate all of the trash, and the stocks that I bring in give me the best opportunity to have a good product, which is a winning trade. So, and our trade execution is when we're focusing on our trade planning and executing that plan without fail. That's what's the quality of our execution. Are we entering when we're supposed to? Or are we jumping the gun? Or are we waiting so long that we pretty much give up most of the trade? Are we taking our trades off too early and not allowing them to work? Or are we leaving our stop on too long, not stopping out when we're supposed to? And then again, that's gonna, all of the results of our trading is gonna be based on how well, what the quality of stocks that we have and the quality of execution that we perform. So you want to set your standards. Okay, you want to make sure you set your standards of what you're looking for in your stock selection. What stocks are you looking for? What volume parameters, all of that stuff. What ATR parameters? What price parameters are you looking for? What float parameters? All of these things you have to set, and then you prioritize them. Make sure that you have the most important ones that are going to be, hold the most weight. And you want to establish that process to qualify the stocks for your watch list. Is what you see me do every day. Every morning, you see me go through a quality control process as I'm choosing my stocks, because I'm eliminating the ones that are garbage to me, and I'm keeping the ones that I feel give me the best opportunity to put out a solid product. We have to consistently review our results. That's where our reflection comes in. Reviewing the results not only of our trades, but of the stocks that made our watch list. If we only have 3 or 4, then it doesn't take long to print the charts of all the stocks on your watch list and then kind of look at how that happened. And again, by me doing that and realizing that stocks that was up on a buyout, or that got up or down on a secondary offering or whatever, they never really did anything. So because I was able to see that over a long period of time, I was able to eliminate and make my watch list more efficient. So, and you want to have peers or a mentor look at your results. A true quality control process, you have other people to look at and assess your process and make sure that it makes sense and that it's putting you in the right place. Then you want to have that plan for improvement, because no matter how well you may be doing, things are going to change, and there's always going to be areas that you can improve on. So think about trying to put together some type of quality control process so that you won't have garbage on your watch list, and you're not watching garbage stocks every day, all day, and that you have the best ability, or you have the best opportunity to provide or to produce a solid product, which is a winning trade. That's what this is all about. So just another way to think about it, and another way to help you understand the importance of reflection and analyzing all of these components in our trading. All right, so let's look at the SPY today. It did make a new high relative to the last week, but look at the candlestick. It's just not. It's still, the volatility is still pretty weak. The volume is still pretty low. Actually, we had less volume today than we had on Thursday and Friday, and that's odd. Typically you will not have. Friday would be your slow day, but Monday was our slow day today, which was a little bit odd. But we did get up to 338 and some change, I believe. Let me see, what was the high? 338.34 is what it got to. Not much range in the last 3 days in the market. These are all indecision candles. 1, 2, 3, all indecision candles. Here we did not fall below red to green or green to red line. We did not fall below the 20. The 5. We're still holding it. So there's still a good probability that we're going to hit the highs. I would have bet today that we were going to hit the high, but we didn't. Something is just keeping it down. But something we want to keep an eye on. Against my better judgment, I did enter a swing trade today, and I will share that with you at the end. But the market's pretty much going sideways right now, and this is not the market that I like to initiate technical swing trades. But the one that I got in is kind of fundamental, so we'll talk about that when we get there. All right, so today, now I'm breaking this down into sections before 11 o'clock and then after 11 o'clock, because you'll be able to see it better, and then you'll see it all on one chart. But we took the opening range breakout, okay, and this was before 10 o'clock. So what I did was I took the more conservative entry on this. We put in a high, and we put in the first 5-minute candle. This candle opened and started to sell off. You would think it would trigger an opening range low, but there's no setup because you've got the 50-day right here, and you've got multiple levels of intraday support. Pre-market support. So that would have been a no-go on an opening range low. The only way you would want to watch this is to the long side. And that's what we did on the fourth candle or the fourth candle of the open. We got a close above it. I waited for the next candle to open and take it out, confirming that we're breaking the 5-minute opening range. And I was able to get a couple targets. Did not get to 108, and it pulled back, ended up stopping me out at break even. Once it looked like we were getting a bounce on this continuation. But if you zoom out a minute and look at this, you can see we have a flag here. It's definitely a continuation trade off of the opening range low, but it also produced a flag. So just further evidence that we're going to continue to push up. So once we made a new high relative to this candle, I got in. It just kind of acted kind of weak here, but then it took off, hit my first target, second target, and that was it. I was expecting it to actually pull in. I was honestly expecting it to come in at that point, but it didn't. And I ended up buying it once we broke the channel here. And I was looking for another move up, potentially 109 or so. So I got in. It did push up, came really close to me being able to take profit, and then it actually sold off. had to stop out. We tried to bounce again, and this is where the frustration set in. I jumped in. This was a good entry. This entry, no good, because it should not have been an entry until we took out the top of this channel. It did not take it out. It should never have been an entry, but as you can see, ended up stopping out. So that's 2 stop outs in a row that practically wiped out the 2 good trades. Now, because I managed my risk, I still had profit here. No problem. But it hurt. It took a lot of it out, missing these 2 trades. So that was before the 11. And you can see by now, we put in some defined channels. And so all we have to do is sit back. And if we have some clean room inside of a channel, we've got a good trade. Or when we got the channel break, no matter what, we got it. We can manage it. So let's look at the second part of the day. We bought on the break of this we bought on the break of the top of this channel, and I was looking for a move up here. All right, so we get in. I'm looking for a move up to 109. It gets there, but it doesn't print. And the frustrating thing is, you see the ask side is already at the price that you want, but the bid side is like 30 cents, 40 cents away. Nobody is allowing the bid to move. And it can get frustrating sometimes, but it worked out. And we were able to get in, got my first target here, hit my second target. My final target was going to be up here. So you can see I bought it here. I took half of it off when we got to this target. All of this is one order. Then I took 75 off when I got to 110. And then I took the rest of it off. Let's see. I'm going the wrong way. And I took some more off at 111 up here. Some more off or the rest of it off. I took it off at 112.74. All right, so I was good to go. And this was the 52-week high. So that was my whole target, was when I got in to get to the 52-week high. This was a channel break. This was a top that was put in. I thought worst case scenario, I could get at least just over $1, but it worked out better than I anticipated. And so after I got out, we sat there and watched this thing push all the way up and make new highs. I mean, this thing went up 4 points after this. And I could have bought on the break, but I didn't want to. I wanted to see this pull back and give me a better entry. But it didn't pull back. And so here I look for the reversal on this. We rejected, and I was looking for the pullback. It kind of triggered me an entry here. There was enough room between me getting in and the 9. It was over a point, so perfect for me. I take some profit, and this thing starts to bounce, and ended up having to get out right before break even. And this thing did push up, and eventually it sold, and it did come back and tap the previous 52-week high, which is this 112.62. And then we took off from there. But I was going to be disciplined. I could have bought it here for a move up, but I'm like, it's after 130. The volume's probably going to die down, and I'm just going to wait. And so here we put in a nice bullish pattern here. And this candle closed above the level. So as soon as this opened and made a new high, I got in. And this level wasn't in place at the time. So I was looking for this to continue up. We were blue sky breakout. Was really looking for it to continue. And it pulls back and stops me out. It holds. I couldn't hold past my max. I'm determined not to. And yeah, I could have held it and just switched everything to the 20. But I wasn't. I didn't want to go down that route, and I don't want to set that precedence again. So I went ahead and took it off and then caught the bounce. Got in back over this level here. In this channel, was looking for the top. It ran up within 4 cents, pulled back. This candle came within 2 cents of my order. And then finally it hit, up here through 118. Was 107.97. No, wrong one. Hold on. At 118. Yeah, 118. And then, it pushed up, and then it started to sell back off. And I ended up taking it off here. But after market, this thing is up over 119 right now. So it actually finally got to 119, which was my next target, but it did it after market. So I wasn't going to hold this through the close. The idea was to get out and get moving, and that's what we did. So this is what it looks like all together. I feel like I overtraded. I worked too hard for this. I'm going to just break it down even more and kind of look at this, maybe put it on the market replay and kind of try to figure out why I made the decisions I made at certain points. But 24 tickets, that's pretty big for me. But you can see, how it looks. We got the meat of the move today. Okay, we didn't get the open, but we got the meat. And for me, that's going to help me feel a little bit better about going into this afternoon or going into the evening. All right, so one swing entry today, got in DE, and I'm looking for this to push up through earnings. Get through at least up to 200. Earnings are reported on Friday. And I'm going to send out an email with what I see, because tomorrow you still have an opportunity to get in tomorrow. I mean, it practically traded flat today. So you will have a chance to get in tomorrow if the setup holds. But we'll see. But I'm already in and just going to hold it, looking for that move, that big move going into earnings. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. That's all I got for you today. So you guys have a great night and a great evening, and I will catch you tomorrow.